What we doing there? Salute to my audience. Hope you and the folks are good. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure your notification bell is on. Salute to the prayers them. And I see a lot of prayers are now subscribing, so appreciate it. I'm trying to run up these numbers, so make sure you do what you have to do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? For those that's been here since episode 1, which is why I always say go back to episode 1 if you're just joining the movement, because it is a movement. You know, we're not going nowhere. I've spoken on things close to my chest, i.e. my daughter, autism, things like this. Just in general, people with complex needs, because you know, we have to understand we're in a world where we're all different, and that's fine, that's cool. You know, that's actually a talent within itself, believe it or not, to be different. But what I saw yesterday, how can I put it? Distasteful, but because of the individual who is in question, you know, Simon, and then man there from the smokers corner, I know that mentally, you know, they're not at that level of understanding the world we live in today. You know, for them, it's a blur. You know, say no to drugs, kids. That's what I say on a positive one, gracefully. But yeah, the individual in question is just, you know, he's different too. That's cool. But what's not cool is for whoever are the owners of Shrimp and Co. and Michelle, for you as a business to feel like it's okay to air something of that content, especially involving a young gentleman who's doing amazing things, great things, star in the making. Salute to YJ, who's who I'm speaking of. That should never have came out, because we need to understand the importance of protecting people's mental health, especially if they're in a vulnerable place. But to do it and release it can only be for monetization, you know, all sorts of quids, and there's no empathy within that for that reason alone. So shame on you. Shame on you. Now, the individual YJ, like I said, superstar. He's actually a household name within the industry. We all know who he is. We all know what he does. And I think it's amazing that he's inspiring a lot of us, and also a lot of people that have complex needs. So long may that continue for you, bro. When you hear people, you know, trying to make fun of your situation, even you have to kind of understand that there's different people in the world. Also, a lot of smokers, you know, a lot of people that have no empathy. So never let that derail you off your mission, bro, because your mission is to spread awareness, and you are doing that, and you're doing amazingly well. And continue with your music as well. Long may that continue. Now, Simon, like I said, some people in life, they fear what they don't understand. So then what kind of happens is they make fun and jokes of a situation. It's very immature, you know, very immature. But that's what it boils down to, not understanding something. So in fear of that, you react in a comical way, because that's the easiest way to just bypass it. Now, Michelle, up until that point, I've always had my doubts on how you present, but I'm not here to bash you about that. It's more about you're sane. Simon isn't. Could you have edited that out? Yes. You know, the fact you was laughing also was kind of distasteful, to be honest with me, to be honest with you and me. But maybe you felt uncomfortable, which is, you know, can happen when someone like that is speaking. It's just, you know, we know how shows are edited, how they're put together, and we all understand that things can be taken out, you know. So why that particular scene was left in, a lot of people in the industry and just, you know, regular people would all wonder why that was kept in there. So if you could let us know why that was, that would be amazing. Like I said, man, we have to understand and be sympathetic to those that are different to us. You know, everybody deserves a fair chance. I always say, don't criticize people that are just being themselves and trying. That's not cool. That's bullying, you know, and all the above. So I don't agree with that. I don't find it funny. It's something we should steer away from. The fact that it's happened, all we can do now is spread more awareness of, we are in a world with a lot of people with complex needs. You know, I've never seen, you know, ADHD, autism at such a high point since I've been out here. Honestly, like, is it in the food? I don't know, but the reality is it's here. And a lot of us have, like I said, my daughter, a lot of us have friends, family members, you know, with complex needs, and it's nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? So let's encourage those. Let's support those where we can and when we can. So yeah, man, had to make this segment just to give you my opinion. I was getting a lot of messages regarding it, and I think it's because people are aware of, obviously, my daughter's situation. Like I said, I always look at the individual in question who's talking recklessly. And when you see it's a smoker, straight away it's like, there's no class in that. Disappointed in Michelle, Shrimp, and whatever your ass Clark names is. Shame on you. But to YJ, like I said, bro, I seen a lot of support under your last post. It was great to see you encouraging people to stick together, especially the black community. So well said, sir. And long may your journey continue. Like I said, we need to hear more music, bro. Now is the time. Now is definitely the time, you know. But in this content space, I understand it's always the negative talk and it's always the goss that do more numbers. Whenever you're trying to paint an insight of real life, real situations, it doesn't necessarily do as well. But as long as you know within your heart that you're doing it and saying it for the right reasons, as I am here on my platform today, that's all that matters for me, is that I'm putting the right message across. Yeah, so salute to everybody watching that has maybe a family member, maybe themselves, somebody that suffers with complex needs. Stay strong. We got this, you know. We're special people, you know, like that. It's the Landon, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Notification bell on. You never know what we might talk about.
Call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too. Going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo. We had to break shit.